What's up, guys? It's Dragonfly Mike 77. Today I'm doing a review that is long overdue. I apologize, but I'm kind of lazy with the green screen and everything, but that's how I like doing these reviews. Today I'm doing CocoBuzz. These came out not too long ago. They've been on the market at the same time a decent amount of time. As I said, I'm late. These were actually sent to me by Jake, so at CocoBuzz and Starbuzz, so thank you very much for that. I was very curious about CocoBuzz in general. Starbuzz has been around since about 2005, and it took them a little while to come out with some coconut charcoal. And just like anything else, something new on the market, I want to try it out. So I was actually pretty excited about trying these out. I didn't think the price was unreasonable. A lot of places sell them for about $13.99, and honestly, that's, even though I'm used to Coco Ultimates, we're only about $8.50. $13.99 for Kohl's isn't that bad, considering a lot of times their tobacco is more expensive. So I didn't think the price was unreasonable. I am smoking, so I'm going to take a puff for you guys. Kohl's haven't been on very long. When it comes to the shape of these, and I'll flash away to a clip, as you can see, they're normal coconut Kohl's. They are shaped like flats. I do know that they came out with CocoBuzz 2.0. I don't know if those are on the market yet, but I saw pictures for them, and those will be cubes. I personally like flats. I'm not a big fan of cubes. I think they're hard to find a good place for the bowl. Don't worry about that. I have another review of that up somewhere. But I like the fact that they are pretty much uniform in shape. The first box I got, they were almost perfect with one another. They were as flat and square as possible. I noticed as time has gone on, the more boxes I've gone through, that hasn't been as consistent as the first box. Again, the reason why shape is important to me is you get used to, when they're all the same shape, you get used to that type of heat management. I know it doesn't make that big of a difference, but it's just kind of a pet peeve of mine. And for the most part, CocoBuzz does a very good job at making sure that their Kohl's are pretty much the same size and same shape. I'm big on that, so that's a thumbs up on that. When it comes to the ashing, I'll flash away to a couple pictures. As you can see, they do ash. I think they ash. That ash that's in the tray is from about 2 Kohl's. There's a little more in there. For the most part, they do ash a good amount. As in, not a lot, but the ash isn't too much, so I'm not sitting there and I'm not making a mess. I think they ash about as much as Coconaras, maybe even a little less, so that's another big positive. I know a lot of people hate when you have something like Exoticas that just ash and ash and ash and it creates a mess. With the CocoBuzz, I didn't really notice that much ash, enough ash that I was sitting there and I was like, oh, this is a pain. So that's another positive on these. When it comes to lighting them, I noticed that it actually, the first box I got, it only took about 6 minutes and 30 seconds for them to actually light fully. As time has gone on, I'm not sure if my coal burner is crapping out on me, which probably is. I do need a new one. But I noticed it took a pretty much consistent 10 minutes and 30 seconds to light them, which for me I think is a pretty long time. I feel like other Kohl's it's only about 7 to 9 minutes. That's kind of a bummer that I noticed over time. Again, that might be my coal burner, but over time, once I started using more and more and went through different boxes of CocoBuzz, I noticed that the length of time it took to light them increased a little bit. When it comes to the smell, you do get a smell. You know, just about every natural coal on the market sits there and says no smell when lighting. I'm not sure if the box says that. See, it lasts for more than 1 hour, lowest ash content on the market at less than 3%. So according to this, it does ash less than other charcoal out there. Completely odorless when fully lit. That is worded very well. Once they are fully lit, you don't smell them. You don't know. There's There's no charcoal smell as you're smoking, which there shouldn't be with natural coals. And it also says 100% natural with 0% chemical additives, which is that's the way it should be. So they worded it very correctly. When they are lighting, you do kind of get a coal scent to them. It's not anything that's so potent where it ruins your sessions. It doesn't really stink up my apartment that much. I know I'm lighting coals, but again, it's not something that I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh, I'm lighting coals. Let me take another poke for you guys. There we go. When it comes to the heat output on these, I actually think the heat output on these is a little less than Coconara's. I don't feel like they burn as hot, and I know that's a big positive for a lot of people because when you're first starting out with naturals, I know a lot of people talk about how they feel like Coconara's just burn too hot. And although the temperature difference on these probably isn't that much, maybe 10 degrees, something around those lines, heat management may be a little easier for people that are newer to natural coals because they don't burn as hot. That for me doesn't really, since it's not a big enough difference for me to say that, trying to figure out, it just doesn't bother me. I have been using my Lotus, so honestly, when it comes to temperature, I think heat management is 10 times easier in general. So that's something where I'm starting to notice isn't really that important to me anymore. They fit very well in the Lotus, so despite the fact they are a little cooler, I think for newer smokers, it's a bigger difference for than people that have been smoking for a while. That's just something that I've noticed over time. Hasn't really affected me too much. Take another poke for you guys. When it comes to how long they burn, my average that I got was about 62 minutes, which is pretty much on par with Coconara's. Coconara's only burn for about, I think, like 55. So you do get, you know, that 7-8 extra minutes, which people don't really think is a big deal, but in the long run, that can make a big difference. So they do, when it says they burn longer than any other coal, or no, they don't say that, I'm sorry, last for more than 1 hour. They are true on that. Even though it's only a couple minutes, their statement still holds true. When it comes to CocoBuzz, I have to say these are my favorite natural coconut coals. I had used Coconara's for years. I used Coco Ultimates, Jamras, Canaras, Kryptonite. I've tried all of them, and these are my favorite. These are a 2 thumbs up when it comes to coconut coals. Even though there isn't that big of a difference between these and Coconara's, I don't know why. I just like these more. They're just, I think they burn better. The price isn't too bad. I feel like from box to box, even though the shape has been a little less consistent, I feel when it comes to the quality of the coals that they have been very consistent. I know with a lot of people in Coconara's for a while, they were going out a little bit. It seemed like they may have had a little bit of water damage to them. So far with CocoBuzz, I have not run into that at all. They stay fully lit the entire time. I just think these are good, consistent, natural charcoal. Trying to think if I left anything else out. Nope, I'll take one more poke for you guys. This tastes good, so I'm going to hit it one more time. I think that's all I got. Again, thank you very much, Jake. I apologize that it took me so long to come out with this review, but I finally got it done. I was very happy to do this review. Thanks again. Please comment, like, and subscribe, and as always, guys, peace out.